Just got done with a shopping spree. Hit the lot, I had to cop the G. Common chain at Maserelli. With the whip like it's stolen.
Lonzo recently bought a few things for himself. Diamond chain, Rolex watch, and a nice car.
On the beat, man, I'm a monster. Always acting where you're asking. Felt the heat, but I'm hotter. You a king, I'll say your father.
Lonzo is a better rapper than you.
See the crime and then I conquer. Just to hit y'all with another. I be ballin' with my brothers.
Lonzo's the oldest of 3 boys. LiAngelo and LaMelo are still in high school.
Old faces like them boulders, y'all hating and we know this. Angry faces when you postin', but I gotta stay focused. Dead weight on my shoulders, talk trash, get dumped. Straight shots, no pumps, need help, no stunts. Hit him L1. Yeah.
Self-explanatory.
I don't want you, he can keep you. Good looking, but you see through. Yerm team, then my people.
Lonzo likes to call his friends Yerm team. A Yerm is somebody that makes you happy.
And in a couple months, man, I'll be in a mansion with my car clean and my diamonds dancing.
Shortly after the NBA draft, Lonzo will have a big, fancy house, probably in Paradise Valley.
Let's get it. Skirt, skirt. Yeah.
Drew Soicher, 12 Sports.
Done.
Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Brandon McCarthy has declared a cupcake war. The former Diamondback starter, who's in Glendale for spring training, went on a Twitter rant aimed at the relatively new and wildly popular trend of adding a towering swirl of icing to the top of cupcakes. McCarthy calls it despicable. What's the problem?
That's just too much frosting. I mean, your ratio here is, the same top and bottom. That just can't happen.
What is the perfect cake to icing ratio, in your opinion?
Like a tiny layer at the top, just enough that you're aware that frosting's there, that there's a different flavor, and then that's it, and then cake underneath. This is 3.5 inches of just wasted product.
Many would argue that the icing's the best part, and that perhaps there should be even more icing.
I think many are deranged people like that. I think the sane people, and I think there was a lot of people on Twitter who agreed with me that just a light layer of frosting is all you need, and you're good to go.
Would you at least be willing to try it?
If I got to remake it the way that this is an instant, I know exactly how I would attack this. I would grab it and go index finger backwards and shove off most of that. So usually a bottom of a box like this just ends up being about a pound of frosting, and then I'm happy.
Okay, so use your finger. Which one would you prefer? The chocolate one?
Yeah.
Show us how you would do this. The whole thing?
Yeah, but see, now there's like a nice light layer of frosting, and if I wanted to go back for more, I would do that, and then you're good. And then you have a cake with some frosting on it.
See, but I would argue, watch this.
You couldn't have enjoyed that bite as much as I enjoyed mine.
I think you're wrong, because mine had chocolate chips in it, way more sugar. Aren't you a sugar guy?
No, that is too much of a sugar rush. I can get through more of these. You're going to collapse after about 2 of those. I could eat all 6 of these at my ratios.
Brandon, of all the problems in the world, why choose this one?
It's a small one that we can defeat in our lifetime. There's too many other things that climate change, politics, all sorts of things that those are best left to our kids to sort out. This we can fix now and make the world a better place for them.
Thomas loses the ball. A chance to win.
They have one of the lowest victory totals in the NBA, but when the Suns do win, it's buzz-tacular.
And it's great to see guys fight until the end, and they all come over a period of time. We're just glad our young guys believe, and the confidence is high to take that shot.
The Suns have made 3 game-winning shots as time expired this season, more than any other team in the NBA.
Bledsoe with 1, got to put it up for the game. Good! He did it!
Is it true that some players want the ball in that situation and others don't, and the players know who's who?
Oh, for sure. You can see it in the face. You can tell who don't want the ball. You can tell who want the ball. We got, players on the team that want the ball.
The Suns have the same number of buzzer beaters in the past 4 months as they had in the previous 15 years.
For the game. Got it! Off the glass! What a dramatic finish for the Phoenix Suns!
If you think about it, we all have buzzer beaters in our everyday lives, little deadlines that need to be met before the horn goes off. Just some people have better timing than others. Drew Soicher, dang it, 12 Sports, 1 second late. He's crooked. Diamondbacks reliever Fernando Rodney always wears his baseball hat tilted off center.
Sometimes and go seriously. I go angry to the mound and put my hand. I don't know if too much sometimes because I can see it. So I make sure every time I go, that's the right way I wear it.
So we can tell your mood based on how far and how down that hat is.
Yeah, that's good. You're right there. That's perfect.
That's angry, Fernando.
Yeah, that's angry. That's me. That's Fernando Rodney.
With his cap carefully fried, dyed, and laid to the side, Rodney's established himself as one of the top closers in baseball, saving 261 misaligned, lopsided, slightly askew games. Rodney's hat trick may lead you to believe that he's disrespectful, but quite the opposite. Fernando does it as a tribute to his late father, Ulysses, a fisherman in the Dominican Republic who always had to turn his hat sideways while working to protect his face from the blazing sun.
And he see the sun rotate, he keep rotating his hat. So when the sun come, hit in the face. So that's why I'm wearing my hat like that. In memory to my father.
Rodney's dad passed away in 2002, the same year Fernando broke into the major leagues.
Every time I think I come to the mound, no matter where now, I wear my hat like that is keep him alive.
His brim may sit at an angle, but Rodney's reason for it is straight up honorable. Drew Soicher, 12 Sports.
Well, a Phoenix man, both surprised and grateful to have his wedding ring back on his left hand tonight. Team 12's Drew Soicher joining us right now. And Drew, wow, what a story.
If you're going to lose something important, right, your cell phone or your wallet, maybe some jewelry, make sure it's at the new soccer stadium in town. Turns out they've got the ultimate lost and found. Sometimes you find love in the most unusual places, like the first row of a Phoenix Rising soccer game, where Nate Benner was sitting Saturday night.
And that's blasted out of play.
Toronto took a shot, and it came right at me, and instincts just kind of kicked in.
I'm making the save.
Yeah.
Benner's the guy in the black shirt celebrating as if he just clinched the championship. Until only a few seconds later, Nate looked down and realized something was missing.
I just said in that moment, my ring.
His wedding ring. The one Nate's beautiful wife, Alyssa, gave him 7 years ago. Popped off when the ball struck his hand and landed who knows where.
My wife has been great. She was right next to me. She said, just stop looking for it. We'll look at halftime.
This is when you find out if you married the right girl.
Exactly.
For better or for worse, right? The couple stayed long after the smoke had cleared, searching, but no luck. Just for laughs, Nate sent a tweet to the team saying he had so much fun at the game, he lost his wedding ring. And then, 48 hours later, the Rising never gave up on their fan, found his prized possession and returned it, to have and to hold.
Yeah, I said I'll forever be wedded to you, and then I think another one I said I pledged my love and loyalty.
You love that soccer team.
I do. I love that soccer team, and they're new in the Valley, and they deserve the support that they're getting.
Happily ever after.
Absolutely.
Nate says he lost a few pounds since getting married, which may be why his ring slipped off his finger in the first place.
If you're watching, time to get it resized, brother. You don't want that to happen twice.
That's the real story. Who loses weight after getting married?
I know. I was going to say, I thought you gained 10 pounds or something once you get married, right?
Hey, Coop, the Diamondbacks are visiting the Cubs Cactus League ballpark for the first time tonight since Chicago won the World Series. It's a peculiar reunion of sorts for D-backs pitcher Brian Mattis. Before joining his hometown team this season, the Phoenix native bounced around the league a little bit, including 1 day on the Cubs roster last season, worked just 3 innings and gave up 6 runs, but because he technically played for the eventual World Series winners, Brian qualifies for a championship ring. When you get the ring, will you flaunt it in the clubhouse?
See, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll show it around the guys, just kind of as inspiration. Yeah. Say, hey, we could potentially, do that here in Arizona.
Mattis was a little concerned that maybe the Cubs had forgotten about him, but just a couple of days ago, somebody called and asked the magic question. What's your ring size? We're live in Mesa. I'm Drew Soicher. He could tell something about his morning workout was going to be a little different that day.
There was bomb sniffing dogs, and I just didn't get to walk into the weight room. And once I passed through the tunnel of security, I realized that the President of the United States was working out.
Lovullo was on the Red Sox coaching staff in 2015 when he learned Barack Obama was staying at the same New York City hotel and perfectly timed his exercise routine to coincide with the president's.
And eventually got to the point where he sat right next to me. We ended up sharing the same weights and talking and having a good conversation.
What'd you say to him?
First of all, I introduced myself, and he said that he's a baseball fan.
The two men chatted about Obama's favorite team, the Chicago White Sox, before Lovullo got the nerve to pose the question he really wanted answered.
And then eventually I asked him when he was leaving. I said, when are you getting out of this hotel? Because it's really crowded and I can't go to Starbucks across the street. It takes me a half hour to get there with all the security. And he said he's going to be leaving in a half hour and the coast would be clear.
So what's all this got to do with baseball? Perhaps more than you think. The fact Lovullo was able to single-handedly orchestrate a meeting with the leader of the free world might just tell us all we need to know about him. You were determined.
Right.
You were opportunistic and aggressive. These are the same words people use to describe great managers. Will this transfer to baseball?
That's good. I like that. Very nice.
Just as the Prez was about to leave, Lovullo went to his closer.
Would you mind taking a picture with me? And he was very gracious to do that, and it was something that I'm very proud of.
But that picture is awful.
Yeah, right?
It's blurry.
I know.
There's no light on it.
I know. What can you do? It was with a phone camera, but there's proof. There's proof.
Grainy proof. Right.
Yeah, there's proof that it happened, and I'm really proud of that moment.
Hey, seems fitting to mention on Academy Awards night that Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo grew up around the entertainment industry because his dad was a Hollywood hotshot. He's been surrounded by talented people all his life. Torey Lovullo first realized this when a fifth-grade teacher asked him what he did on summer vacation.
I said I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and I got a chance to sit down with my dad and visit with some of the people he works with. And she said, do you realize who those people are? And I said, yeah, it's Buck Owens and Roy Clark. It was like nothing to me because I'd sit and play cards and laugh and tell jokes with those guys. They were my friends. So she was the one that told me that my upbringing might be a little bit different. And then around that age, you start to connect the dots a little bit.
Lovullo's father, Sam, was the executive producer of the wildly popular television variety show Hee Haw, a country-based comedy which aired for 25 years.
I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone.
I've learned to like country music. I was forced to watch Hee Haw every Sunday night after the Lawrence Welk show, and that was like pulling teeth. But I grinded through it, and I did it because I could barely sit still. And I became a fan of the show as I got a little bit older.
We'll see you next week on
Sam Lovullo passed away last month at the age of 88, living just long enough to see his son hired as a major league skipper.
He met presidents, he went to the White House, he shook hands with some of the biggest country stars, biggest celebrities in the United States. But when he got around managers and players, coaches, he was like a kid in a candy store.
Sam Lovullo also produced television specials for the Harlem Globetrotters, so hopefully some of that winning will rub off on Torey and the Diamondbacks. Wow, Joe, it took 20 years exactly, but the first walk-off base hit on opening day in Diamondbacks history was worth the wait. What's it like on opening day, Chris, to look up and see all your teammates charging at you, ready to celebrate?
That was awesome. It's cool to get a win no matter what, but opening day special. Past couple years I've been here, we haven't had much luck winning on opening day, so man, it's good to start the year off with a win.
20th anniversary season is off to the best. impossible start. Much more from the undefeated first-place D-backs coming up in a few minutes. We're live in downtown Phoenix. I'm Drew Soicher, 12 News.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hi, everybody. The Diamondbacks got no hit today for the first time in more than a decade. Miami Marlins pitcher Edinson Volquez, who entered the game with a terrible 1-7 record and sprained his right ankle on a collision with the very first batter of the game, Ray Fuentes, considered leaving, decided to keep going. Wise choice, because Volquez ended up tossing the first no-hitter of his career, finishing strong, striking out every batter in the ninth inning. D-backs lose 3-0 with a heavy emphasis on nothing. I hate no-hitters, mostly because they happen all the time and everybody goes crazy screaming, "I've never seen anything like it."
And the first no-hitter of 2017.
Big deal. Calm down. It's not that rare. No-hitters, like the one Edinson Volquez threw at the Diamondbacks, are overrated. Great for him, looks terrific on a resume, but come on. Never seen anything like it? They happen all the time. Seems like twice a week. There have now been 296 Major League no-hitters, including 2 by the D-backs, Randy Johnson and Edwin Jackson, and 3 against them, Jose Jimenez, Anibal Sanchez, and Volquez. Never seen anything like it. Year before last, there were 7 of them, including 2 by Washington's Max Scherzer.
Has done it again!
Chicago's Jake Arrieta recently had a pair of no-nos, just 11 starts apart. Never seen anything like it. Bob Feller tossed one on opening day. Jordan Zimmerman in the season finale. Never seen anything like it. I hate no-hitters. Not just because the D-backs were the victims again, but because you have seen something exactly like it, and you will again soon. Arizona State season is over, but their leading scorer is still in the gym. It's only been a few days since he was chosen to participate, but Torian Graham already has his game plan for the NCAA three-point shooting contest. What's your strategy going to be?
I'm gonna just try to make the first one. As soon as I made the first one, I feel like I got it all under control.
What if you miss the first one?
And try to make the second one.
Graham earned the nickname Green Light with a go-go-go shooting mentality that helped him lead the Pac-12 conference with 108 three-point baskets this season. When you're driving on the street,
yes, sir,
and the light goes from green to yellow, do you stop or you keep going?
Yellow, I keep going. I keep going.
So green and yellow mean go to you?
Yes, sir.
But red, you stop.
Yeah, I try not to get caught going on red.
Graham wishes the Sun Devils would have made it to the Final Four, but he's happy to represent his team in the festivities leading up to the big event. Arizona State down by 1. 3, 2, 1. A picture is worth 1,000 base hits? Some ball players think there is a direct correlation between their performance on photo day and how they'll play during the season.
Last year was decent. Year before was awful. All through college was awful. Minor leagues, pretty bad. Yeah. So.
Sounds like you're not very photogenic.
I feel like I am, but I'm not blaming anybody, but I feel like there could be some better pictures.
The Diamondbacks had an early morning modeling session, posing for game programs, baseball cards, broadcast outlets, the team website, and anybody else with a camera.
Thank you.
This Lazy Susan green screen station is pretty cool. It'll be used during the game to introduce players on the scoreboard. The most difficult decision each player makes every season is tough guy face or smile.
That was pretty.
Have you ever had a season where you looked up at the scoreboard and you're like, oh?
Yeah, actually, one of my years in St. Louis, I was like, oh man, I can't believe they used that picture. So.
And there's no retakes.
There's no retakes, so you better come with your A game on photo day.
Today was just individual shots. The full team picture won't be snapped till July. Drew Soicher, 12 Sports. Hi, everybody. Sun star Devin Booker set a franchise record with 70 points last night, but he's being heavily criticized by the opponent for how he scored them. Hey, if the Boston Celtics don't like it, 1, they should guard Booker better, and 2, shut up. So what if Devin Booker didn't score all 70 of his points in the natural flow of a basketball game?
59 for Booker.
So what if the Suns were only focused on running up Booker's point total and didn't make an effort to win the game? So what? So what? Shut up. Professional basketball is entertainment, and somehow the Suns have produced the most entertaining season of any lousy team in NBA history. Despite having the 3rd worst record, Phoenix leads the league in buzzer beaters.
At the buzzer!
Had a teenager nearly win the All-Star Slam Dunk Contest, broke the record for youngest starting lineup of all time, and now delivered the highest scoring individual game in more than a decade. If your team is gonna stink, this is the greatest stench ever. Wouldn't it be cool if David Johnson rushed for 300 yards in a Cardinals loss? Or if Paul Goldschmidt belted 4 home runs in a Diamondbacks loss? Or if Shane Doan scored 6 goals in a Coyotes loss? Of course it would. Before Friday, when's the last time somebody texted you to hurry up and turn on the Suns game? How about never? Because texting hadn't been invented yet in 1976 or 93. Someday the Suns will be competitive again. But until then, I hope they're just fun to watch. Let's just shut up and enjoy.
They're cheering for Devin Booker now.
The writing is on the wall for the Diamondbacks this season, and it's never looked so pretty. D-backs bench coach Jerry Narron fills out the lineup card each day in calligraphy.
Do you think it matters if the lineup card looks beautiful?
Not at all.
No?
No.
You don't think it sends a message like we're doing everything right here?
I hope it does, but you know, at the end of the day, it's all about starting pitching. If your pitcher pitches great, you're gonna win.
Some names are more difficult to jot down than others.
Now this is when you start to sweat, right? Because Goldschmidt's coming. You really got to focus.
Narrow this thing down here for Goldie.
You can squeeze them all in. You know exactly how wide to make each letter.
It took me a couple times.
Self-taught, Narron is celebrating his 25th season of Major League calligraphy, first with the Diamondbacks. He's carefully handwritten more than 5,000 lineup cards without judging.
There must be times when you're writing out this lineup card when you think to yourself, that's a stupid decision.
No.
Come on.
Never.
Never. You thought to yourself, I would definitely give him the day off. That dude's in a slump.
No.
As long as Jerry Narron's with the Diamondbacks, everything's gonna be all right. Drew Soicher, 12 Sports. Hey, when I heard that today is World Redhead Day, it got me thinking about who are the best ginger athletes ever. Less than 2% of the human population has naturally red hair, so there aren't many to choose from. But I've got a top 5, beginning with Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton. Number 4 is Dale Earnhardt Jr., 2-time Daytona 500 winner, complete with red beard. 3 is former home run champion Mark McGwire. In fact, McGuire's red hair may be the only thing natural about him. Second place goes to 2-time Olympic gold medalist Shaun White. Spectacularly colorful performer, both snowboarding and skateboarding. Could have been number 1 had he not recently gone pretty boy on us. Which makes Basketball Hall of Famer Bill Walton, particularly as a Portland trailblazer with the headband and no regard for personal hygiene, as my all-time greatest sports redhead.
Curly.
That's
he
right.
is a great ginge, I agree.
Yeah, he was a mess in the 70s. He cleaned up a little bit nowadays. The Diamondbacks followed up their most lopsided victory of the season with an even worse whooping tonight. D-backs beat the most disgusting team ever assembled again. The San Diego Padres are so bad that the Snakes have outscored them 13-0 the past 2 nights in just the first inning. Arizona extends its winning streak to 5 games, this time 9-1. D-backs activated Chris Iannetta off the disabled list today. Iannetta might be the toughest dude on the planet. He only missed a week after taking a 93-mile-an-hour fastball to the face. Chris broke his nose and some teeth, but never his spirit.
You watched the video?
Yes.
How come?
Why not? I'm not afraid of it. I mean, it's not something that's going to be in my head. It happened. I misread a pitch. I thought it was another slider, and by the time I realized it was a fastball, I couldn't get out of the way.
Misread a pitch, so you're blaming yourself for that?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, and no one else could have gotten out of the way but myself.
Race car driver Sebastian Bourdais is at the hospital right now, recovering from surgery to repair a fractured pelvis suffered in a fiery crash during an Indianapolis 500 qualifying run this afternoon. Bourdais was going 231 miles an hour when he hit that wall. Strange but Drew. Cloud Computing won the Preakness Stakes today, but all anybody will remember is this disturbing shot of NBC Sports legend Bob Costas broadcasting from the shoulders of two creepy guys wearing horse masks. Stranger but Drewer. Tonight's ASU baseball game against Arizona was kind of boring. Wildcats are beating the Sun Devils again, 6-1 in the 9th inning. But U of A senior Austin Schnabel, a Scottsdale native, made it all worthwhile by devouring the world's juiciest apple in about 15 seconds. Best of all, Schnabel completed the entire act while staring down the dugout camera. And strangest but Drewest, it was Bring Your Own Cup Day at 7-Eleven. Customers were encouraged to take any container they could carry to the convenience store and fill it up with their favorite flavor of Slurpee for just $1.50, regardless of size. And so, I jammed my aluminum foil Stanley Cup under the classic Coke nozzle and filled it all the way to the top. Strange but Drew.
You know what? That is the best Slurpee.
Straight Coke.
Yeah.
They're all good.
No. But the Coke,
those in the know.
The original.
Exactly right.
That was the original flavor.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And it was a great idea at the time, but I spent the rest of the day with terrible brain freeze.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. Welcome back to 12 Sports Tonight. Hey, fellas, have I ever mentioned how much I love sports?
I don't recall. Did you recall it, Cam? I don't remember saying anything.
Come on, Drew. Well, I do.
Oh, okay.
Now more than ever, because Diamondbacks All-Star Paul Goldschmidt had the longest line of autograph seekers waiting at his table during the team's Fan Fest this week and stayed to sign every single item. Plus, Goldie thanked each fan individually. I love sports.
I guess I've been here the longest, so, you know, again, it's just an honor that people want to come out here and want you to sign a piece of paper or sign a baseball, and that's just how I look at it.
Have you ever had a television reporter act so unprofessionally that he asked you to sign the microphone flag?
No, I've never signed that.
Could you do that for 12
Yeah.
News?
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live on 12 News and 12news.com. Oh, look at that. Paul Goldschmidt.
That baby will be on eBay by midnight. Strange but Drew. This weekend's Cactus League game between the Cleveland Indians and Cincinnati Reds was delayed in the 8th inning when the infield sprinklers went off. Happens once every year because it's spring training for the grounds crew also. Stranger but Drewer, a fan in the crowd at a boxing match in Puerto Rico, was so upset that his favorite fighter was getting whooped that he climbed up on the ring apron and threw a punch himself. Didn't help. His guy still lost. And strangest but Drewest, Northwestern basketball player Ashley Deary chose the wrong time to tie her sneaker. KK Sanders of Rutgers stole the ball just as Deary was completing her double knot. Wild scene at the airport to welcome African soccer legend Didier Drogba to Phoenix tonight. Hundreds of fans showed up to get a glimpse of Drogba, the Ivory Coast national team's all-time leading scorer, who is joining the Phoenix Rising as a player-owner. This must be him now, coming through the revolving door. Wait, that's an airport luggage handler. There's Drogba, best known for his fabulous career with Chelsea of the English Premier League. What a relief. For a second there, I was worried he had fallen terribly out of shape. Hi, everybody. Something fishy happened at tonight's Diamondbacks game. D-backs were beaten by the Florida Marlins, whose stadium features a beautiful live fish tank. Near disaster in the first inning when JT Realmuto's foul ball shattered the glass behind the on-deck circle. Game was briefly delayed to clean up the mess and patch up the hole to make sure no sharks or piranhas got on base. Snakes get tanked, 7-5. In celebration of National Donut Day, I made a list of famous Arizona athletes and the kind of donut they remind me of. Diamondbacks pitcher Zach Greinke is your basic, plain donut. Boring, but wonderful. No wow factor, however extremely reliable. Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald is a rainbow sprinkles donut. Colorful and fun, loaded with a variety of excitement in every bite. Coyotes captain Shane Doan is a sugar donut. Loyal and dependable, smothered in sweetness, always the first one picked out of the box. Sun star Devin Booker is a sea salt caramel donut, a relatively new flavor that's surprisingly good, occasionally great, and you anticipate having a big future. D-backs legend Randy Johnson is an old-fashioned donut stick, long and skinny, with the strength and stamina to last all night. And Suns Ring of Famer Charles Barkley is a jelly donut, round and fluffy and filled with so many surprises, they're oozing out of his big mouth. The Cardinals are reportedly in talks with former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Blaine Gabbert, which is even more foolish than it sounds when you consider right team, wrong player. The Cardinals could indeed dramatically improve their quarterback situation by signing a 6'4", 230-pound free agent who played for San Francisco the past few years. But it isn't Blaine Gabbert. It's Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, that guy, Kaepernick, the dude who sparked an equal rights movement throughout the NFL and beyond last season by refusing to stand during the national anthem. What nobody noticed is he also happened to throw 4 times as many touchdown passes as interceptions. Outplayed Carson Palmer in a near upset of the Cards. Kaepernick has led the 49ers to a pair of NFC championship games and came within 3 points of winning a Super Bowl. He's a far superior athlete to Gabbert, who's proven to be an adequate backup, but only has 9 victories in 43 pro games. I understand why the Cardinals might not want to go there. Kaepernick could end up being more trouble than he's worth. But if the Cards intend to keep their championship window open after Palmer retires, they need to make a risky move and go pluck the right QB off the Niners roster. Nobody in Mrs. Jones's second grade class at Edison Elementary School was expecting a home run hitter.
Congratulations, your most valuable teacher.
Paul Goldschmidt celebrated National Teacher Appreciation Day by naming LaToya Jones MVP.
Y'all have the best teacher ever, right?
This was supposed to be a big surprise.
It was a big surprise. Wow.
Gather around, kiddies. It's story time with Goldie.
Stories about me right here, this guy, and Baxter, the Diamondbacks mascot.
Goldschmidt had an easy time selecting a book to read to the children. There's a brand new one called Space Invasion, starring him.
Fluto from Pluto, the dwarf planet's king, came to Chase Field to steal Paul Goldschmidt's swing.
Have you ever faced a pitcher more ferocious than Fluto from Pluto?
That'd be a tough one. These guys in the big leagues are pretty good, but yeah, I think all the tricks that he pulls in the book would be tough to hit. Luckily, I got Baxter on my side. Goldschmidt was safe from King Fluto's mayhem thanks to Baxter the Bobcat and his lessons in STEM.
Happily ever after.
DM.
Soicher, 12 Sports.